there's their camera all on. Yeah, everybody's there. Mm. 4:59.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Rick. Hey, Rick.
Hello.
Hello. All right. That's why you got that digital clock in the corner. And you just wait. All right, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the Common Council regular meeting of the Amory City Council, Wednesday, December 2nd. It's 5 p.m. We have a pledge of allegiance to the flag. I pledge
Pledge
allegiance
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to
To
the
the
republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, let's move on. Roll call.
Strobush,
Here.
Strobush, Riemann Schneider,
Oh, she's muted.
Push the space
you're
bar.
muted, Julie. There we go.
I'm here.
Riemann Schneider,
Here.
Van Blaricom,
Here,
Isaacson,
Here.
Flanum.
You're muted.
You're muted,
There
sir.
you
There you go. Flanum,
Here.
Leonard,
Here.
Elkin.
go. Here.
Okay. All right, to start out with, do we have any public comment from any of the city council members? Okay, I got a couple comments to make. The dog park and Soldiers Field properties are for sale on the city website, and we will have signs up within the next, I would say, 7 to 10 days. The other item I'd like to bring up is the Stour Trail update. The county has put together a working group with the WDNR to try to work out their disagreements on trail uses. I sent them a letter saying this process has been going on for 3.5 years. And you have put together a trails advisory group. So I suggested that they work the Stour Trail in through that the Trails Advisory Group. And I also said that if the Polk County and WDNR cannot come to agreement, that we'd be willing to sit down with the WDNR and work with the friends and be a managing partner if it works out with everybody's. So. Okay, as far as officers' reports go, they are on the OneDrive under officers' reports for the month of December. And then let's move on to committee reports, and we got finance and personnel.
I actually question if we need to go over this because we did have a city council meeting after our last meeting. So do we really need to go over this?
No.
Okay, because everything that we discussed has actually been acted on. Yeah, so we don't actually have anything new. We took care of all of our business at the November 18th special city council meeting.
That's right. So
Thank you.
that being said, consent agenda. we have to approve the minutes of the meetings that are listed there.
I'll make a motion to approve the committee reports as listed on the agenda.
I'll second it.
Okay.
Julie.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, moving on. Here we have up for approval is ordinance 10-2020, ordinance creating a joint fire committee with the towns of Lincoln, Alden, and Blackbrook. Would you have any discussion? Or a motion?
Did this go through a committee?
I know Paul had asked the same question. This actually came from our potential fire committee. It did not go through an actual committee yet. But it was looked at by our city attorney. And this is made under the recommendation of the city attorney as far as the resolution does in context with the ordinance.
Okay. So looking at duties here, and I'm just reviewing this for just public sake, I guess. The duties of the commission are develop an annual operating and capital improvement budget for the fire department. Long-term facilities planning, capital expenditure, construction, and improvements to meet anticipated population and development growth in the area. Current and future personnel and training needs for Amory Fire Department employees and volunteers. Rate changes and proposed amendments to fire agreements and such matters as directed by municipalities. However, is my understanding that in the end, this is more of an advisory committee? Correct me if I'm wrong.
That is correct.
It would compare very well to the airport commission, the planning commission. Planning commission less because they don't recommend taxes or anything, but several commissions like that have those kinds of recommendations. They all come to finance and the council for budgeting purposes. It's still going to belong to the city of Amory. I mean, if you read the whole contract, basically everything comes through there, but it's intended to give the townships and the city a more of a co-equal say in how the monies are being spent that we tax for. And of course, this agreement is still superseded by the contracts with the individual townships that have to be signed and acted on by their board. So it isn't just the city that gets a look at whatever expenditures, but also their boards have to agree, to this, to spend whatever, if we're going to spend capital equipment money. So it's a method that I think will work out well. We won't as a city council get a report from the fire chief anymore. That'll go to the commission, and there's 2 members of the council appointed to the commission, and they will bring the any things that need to be done through the council. So once the budget is set for the fire by that group, or that's suggested and goes through our normal budgeting process, I don't expect that we'll have to weigh in on purchases and things like that. So it just gives everybody a better say as to how the fire department is run and how it goes, how it serves all of the members.
Yeah, under section G, general powers, first sentence says the committee shall be an advisory body only.
Yep.
Which is what I was getting at. My last two comments or questions or suggestions or whatever you want to call them is we have not assigned a council member to this committee or council members to this committee yet, correct?
No, that's been done
Well,
at a
that,
meeting,
okay, who was assigned to that?
Chad and myself.
Okay. And then,
That was done at the same time that the mayor formed the fire committee. So I think your question at the very beginning, did this go through a committee? It did go through the fire committee that was created by Mayor Paul.
okay. And then my final comment is this the first step to the fire department becoming an association or a district of some sort?
We've
think we're just-
discussed that at length, and there are a number of fairly significant issues with becoming a fire association. I think this is probably the best way to address the concerns of everyone, whether it becomes an association someday or not. There's a lot of advantages, and most of them belong to, most of them come from belonging to the city yet, simply because you have probably a place to do all the payroll things and those kind, the insurances and stuff that are all already done. If you're an association, then all that stuff has to be done through the association,
Right,
and they may or may not get the same benefits.
yeah, absolutely. So, on that note, I make a motion to approve ordinance 10-2020, creation of a joint fire committee.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Okay,
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, next on the agenda, resolution 11-2020 is, this is the resolution that, because we passed the ordinance, this gives the city council the resolution related to the creation of the advisory joint fire committee. As you can see, it's quite long. Has everybody read it? And do you want it read out loud, or is it good?
I have something to add. We do need to add the number to it. It doesn't have the number at the top of it, so that we'll make that change.
Okay,
So
got it.
11-2020.
I do have a question. I don't think I need it read, as I've read it, and it's available for the public to read it as well. But I do have a question about assigning the members. There's a 1-year and a 3-year member. That's something too that you'll have to take up and identify. So that'll probably have to be done at the January meeting or something, but you'll have to identify who the 2 representatives are from the city council or from the city of Amory.
City of Amory, yep.
Yeah. Okay. I'd entertain a motion.
I'll move to accept ordinance.
resolution.
The resolution. I'll
Resolution.
second I'll second the motion.
Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Okay, let's move on to item 3 in the new business, discussion action from the Plan Commission, rezoning of 500 Duranda Street from R1 to R2.
Okay, I'll speak to that since I'm the liaison to the Planning Commission. And that was brought up at our last meeting too, that there had been a public hearing in regard to rezoning 500 Duranda Street from R1 to R2. The Parnells have plans to make the house into an apartment. So they need the zoning changed for that. And there were no, all the neighbors had been notified. There was no negative opinions about anything. And the planning commission made the recommendation to approve the zoning change. So I will make a motion to accept the zoning change for 500 Deronda Street from R1 to R2.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, motion carries. Thank you, Parnell. Okay, discussion action for liquor license for Apple Green Midwest LLC. I think Patty's gonna speak on this.
Right. In your packets, I had the notice for the application, and that's actually for Apple Green Midwest, which is located at 1000 River Place Drive. Currently, they just sell beer, and they want to be like their other store and be able to have the capability to be able to sell liquor. So I guess I'm presenting their application to the council for approval.
I have a question. Which place is it? I mean, I see the address, but I don't know what the place is or what it was.
It's a holiday. And
Oh,
it's
the holiday
right-
store. Okay,
yeah, the holiday. Yep,
It's
the
Marathon now, isn't it?
marathon, no, correct.
Yeah,
okay. Thank you.
Yep. Mhm.
Motion to
Well, they're the
approve
old-
the license for Apple Green Properties at 1000 River Place Drive.
do we have a
Second.
second? Okay, any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 All right, any opposed?
Aye.
Motion. Oh, okay,
Just duly noted.
all right,
Okay, yep,
we got it, Rick.
thank you.
All right. Discussion action, building inspector contract renewal. I'll hand that over to Patty also.
We actually have REM inspecting their building inspector, electrical inspector, and UDC inspector contract is set to expire. The existing contracts are already set to automatically renew on January 1st. So I felt that we should probably look into this and see if we want to renew them for another year. The contract that he had sent over in your original packet had last year's contract with all of our signatures, but I did tell him to send us a new contract with no signatures. And I would like to see that in the future with no signatures, because then we can approve yearly with our signatures and the approval. So.
Can I ask a
Okay.
clarifying question with that? If it has an automatic renewal, why are we every year going through the process of renewing the agreement? I'm not opposed to it. I'm just asking the
No.
question why we would do that. Unless we
Because
have a specific change that we want to make to the current one.
Correct, yep. And that's kind of what I'd like to see from him, because it's automatically renewed on January 1st. But I suggested that we do it yearly and do the actual signature of the contract, so it doesn't automatically renew. So we have a chance to review it. And
So then do we want to make a change to the current contract to take that automatic renewal clause out of there?
I would like to, yes. Mhm.
I guess I would like to see that happen too. I'm not a fan of automatic renewal of any sort of contract, especially when it's something like this. I think it doesn't hurt to actually review the contract every year and not have an automatic renewal.
I agree. Yep, that's kind of what I told him today or yesterday. So the one you have in your packet is the original that he'd sent over, but I got the new one today that has no signatures. So we can look at the automatic part of it. And do you want to take that out and then look at it yearly?
Does the contract, I don't remember, as I was skimming, does it have a 60-day notice of any changes to the contract? Does it have a time? I vaguely remember from last year, we wanted to make a
Yes.
change in termination, it was 60 days. So
Yeah.
I
So,
think given this
So-
point, we'll have to do an auto renewal, and then at some point in the future, probably for next year, modify within 60 days of the expiration.
correct.
Or
So
at any,
if you
I
look
guess we
on-
could do that anytime throughout the year.
Right. So if you look at page 2, it talks about the terms of the agreement. And that's at the very bottom of page 2. And then it talks about the termination right below that. So,
Right, but I'm not sure that's exactly what Chad was talking about. Some contracts you have 60 days before the end of the contract to offer changes. Otherwise, they stay in effect. Or in some cases, you have to accept it. If you're going to do termination, you can still use the 60 days, but you have to go through the 60 days before you can do anything.
So what Chad was saying was let it auto renew and then take this up
And
in a
then
future
take it
council
up.
meeting, turn it to a yearly basis, at least 60 days before the contract's up again next year.
that would be a wise move, I think.
Yeah, there's nothing in the contract. It just says the terms of agreement, the agreement shall be for 1 year term and shall automatically renew on first day of January. It doesn't say anything about I did not find anything about any changes other than that termination clause, which I think that 60 days applies to termination.
Okay, yep.
But there's nothing else. I guess for procedurally, I would like to see, let's approve the contract for another year, have Patty contact him and say, we want to strike the annual, we just want to review it on an annual basis. Can we just strike that out of the contract now on mutual agreement, or do we need to rewrite the contract?
Yeah.
and Kind of leave it up to him.
Yeah. I just wanted to bring it to your attention because I don't like the auto renew either, Sarah. So that's why I wanted to just point that out to everyone, so.
Patty, how does our contract with our assessor read? Is that similar or, because we signed that contract on some type of a basis too. I'm just thinking if we do make changes to one contract, maybe we need to bring some uniformity to, one of the other ones.
Yeah, that's a good point, and I will look at that. I've got it in my notes here, so, yep.
I make a motion to approve the building inspector contract for another year.
I'll second it.
Any further discussion?
I would like to, am I on? Yeah, okay. I would like to add into that yes, I'm okay with renewing it, but I would like to have that last part of the sentence on page 2 under term of agreement, have that it's stricken that and shall automatically renew on the first day of January, have that stricken before we approve.
I think it's already approved. It's automatic.
I don't agree with that, actually. That would be for termination only is the way I'm reading it.
No, I
Says
think-
it's for 1 year and it shall automatically renew the first day of January. Doesn't have any stipulation.
So to Eric's point,
That's
whether we re-sign it or not, it's already a valid contract year
I think
over.
it's in effect. I think the thing we need to do is take an action to reopen the contract and make the change that we just talked about, because I agree. Renewals automatically are the ones that if you gave your credit card to somebody that they auto renew something online every time and you don't even remember it. So I think we should be looking at this.
Tim, would you like to restate your motion?
Yeah, like I said, procedurally, I don't know if it's necessarily correct that we can just strike the contract, kind of the strike as we go type thing. I'm fine with striking it. I just hope we don't open ourselves up to some sort of conflict now with the assessor. I mean, it actually is benefiting him as much as it's benefiting us that this gets reviewed annually. But I don't know if we can legally do that. I will amend my motion to strike the And now I lost the page, but strike that clause in there about automatic renewal. That-
Well, here's the way I read the motion. Tim made the motion, Chad seconded to renew for one more year and reopen the contract and make change to contract in the future.
Works for me.
Don't you think we're better served to do it that way, and then we can?
Yeah.
look at it in the future?
Reopen the contract when? When would that happen?
I guess that's.
That's, what I'm not understanding.
Okay.
Because whether we,
Well, now. Patty can call the guy tomorrow and
Yes, it would be-
renegotiate the contract.
And I could ask him to make those changes. Yeah, I could do that.
Because if we both mutually agree to the change, then there's really no need for a further negotiation. Or my offer.
Mhm. So in the very near future.
So does everybody agree on the motion that, as Patty sees it? So do we have a second to the amended motion? Is that where I have to go?
I'll
Yeah,
I'll
'cause we-
second the amended motion.
Chad, okay. Okay.
Any further discussion?
So I will get a hold of him. I'll call him tomorrow and talk about this and make sure that that gets added.
All in favor?
I,
Aye.
Any opposed, say no.
no,
Motion carries. Okay. Do we have a motion to adjourn?
before we adjourn, can I, what is our meeting schedule going forward, Patty? I think you and I discussed we're gonna have, finance this month on the 15th. Am I correct with that?
Yep, I think we should have it on the 15th, which is a Tuesday. The only thing on the agenda will be discussion of advertisement for Public Works Director.
Are there any other meetings you think that we're gonna have in December then? Any other committees?
I'm gonna ask Paul that, he mentioned public safety as far as the parking goes. On Main Street, was it, with
Oh, yes. Having more complaints about the 1 to 2 hour parking signs. Are they really necessary? And I'd like to bring that up again. It doesn't have to happen this month, but I'd like to put it in for future public safety, public works, committee meetings.
So, yeah, that, if we don't take care of that this month, that would be the only meeting set up. And then, I know a special committee meeting, special council meeting in this regard for the ad. I don't know if you want to do that the following night. I guess it didn't seem like anybody wanted to really do that, so. Is that correct?
We both do them on the same night.
We could.
I don't know that we actually need to have a special council meeting because what we're going to be discussing is a matter that finance can actually take care of and just ask Patty to do what we're requesting to have her do as far as posting a job. I don't think that it has to go to full council.
Or it can wait until January too.
The posting,
Yeah.
well, then it was going to be the end of January.
Yeah, I think you want to get the posting up sooner rather
No,
than
it can
later.
go to- I'm sorry, I misspoke. The posting can get approved by council in January.
Right. But we would have to have the finance meeting before that.
Right,
So,
on the 15th.
yes.
So, yeah, I'm fine with
That's
that.
what I've got. January 15th, or Tuesday at 5 o'clock.
One other thing too, it says about future agenda items for January 6th. Can we put this building inspector contract on there just as a review or whatever to see where we're at with it and we don't lose focus on it?
Perfect. Yep, I'll do that.
Then I would also add the question about the appraisal, so we can have an understanding of where we are, if we've got inconsistencies on auto renewal contracts.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that note, motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right,
Okay,
thank you.
Thanks, everybody.